Hello and welcome. So now we're going to look at the most important part of the system, which is where you get to create and add your content. Now in this, you are going to have several options, and it's really important to start thinking about how you go about this. Now, if you haven't seen it already, please do see the creating a course, which is available as a link, and the person who will be introducing you to this should have this link here. We'll put it up on this website, but there is a course to get you thinking about how you actually set up your course, because really that is obviously the brain power there is going to actually determine how useful your course is. But once you're inside, you're going to have two options. Now, the first one is to create your own subject, and the second one is to import a subject. Now, when importing a subject, depending on the code you have, you may be a fully subscribed school, or you may not be. If you're not a subscribed school, if you're just signing in with an influencer item, for example, we wouldn't have bothered you with any of these items because they won't be relevant to you. But of course, for schools, for tuition centres, and for colleges, who make up the bulk of our customers, at least in 2020, the element that you can actually start to import comes from all those different items. Now, what this means is that you would be able to open any one of our courses and add it within your course. Now, we're going to come to that in more detail in a second, but just for the overview here, I just want you to know that you've got all these items to fill in, and remembering here that English language and the maths also have the functional skills. If that means anything to you, then obviously you are the one who knows. And then obviously we have the first of our parent support courses as well to help. So just depending on how you're setting up your school, your college, or your platform, you may want any one of them. Now, the importing of the subjects I go into because there are some nuances to it. But what I'm going to do in this first instance is we're going to start creating a subject. Now, the first element that we don't do here is we're creating our own subject, and I'm going to call this Intro to Guide, for example. Now, at different times, I will revert to our system as well, so you can see an idea. And I just want you to get the idea and the reminder here that it is set up in the following way. You have a subject, then you have a topic, then you have a subtopic, and then your video. And that's how it flows. The reason we enforce a topic and a subtopic, and most people don't, is because it helps to organize the flow better. Most people go subject video, some people go subject topic then video, but we found, especially for education, for really helping your learner, having the different levels in does make a huge difference, and that's why they are there, and they are enforced. We don't allow the removal of them. So if I was going to say introduction to guide, the first thing I might do here is actually say products, and then you'll see it will invite me to go into a product, and then I'm actually going to say the next one is core. And then you see the next element now is where I can add a video. And this becomes really important, because this is everything that we base everything around. The idea ultimately with the system is that you watch video and ultimately respond with video in some way, shape or form. And we are leading the way in that, or at least we are in 2019-20. Let's see what happens post-pandemic. I'm assuming a lot of people will join us in this space. But here where you see I want to add a video now, I have several options. Now, the first and easiest one for me to do is to import from YouTube, for example. So if I just go to YouTube now, and I know my screen is not showing anything to you for a second, just as I go and get a YouTube video, so forgive me for that. And the buttons that you're hearing ping away is because I am not allowed to use this screen recorder while I am on a recording. Yes, with screen recorder, it's not allowed to go on a Google site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an item here. I just happen to find a Boris Johnson coronavirus briefing, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing again now. As I come back into this, I go to import from YouTube, and then here you'll see I'm going to bring an item in straight from YouTube, and I've imported the video. Now, this will then live on our system, but that's not all we're going to do there. Please do watch the second video to see how it is. Now, the next thing that you have here is obviously you can upload from your device. So that's going to be an element, probably the same as you've done, with YouTube or any other different item, where you go to your hard drive, you pick something, you upload it. It's quite self-explanatory. Now, the last item is what I'm using now, ScreenRock. Now, ScreenRock is a red button here that is a Google edition, and this Google edition is, sorry, a Google extension, not Google edition, is basically allows you to record the screen. Now, we built it. This is what you're seeing at the bottom here. It allows you to record your face if you so wish, or record your screen, and we make all our own tutorials on our own stuff because we believe in what we do. And essentially, I have a ScreenRock item ready and available. And what it happens is, oh, sorry, obviously the last one I copied was the YouTube one, but I have a screen rock item ready and available. It's one of these tutorial videos that I've been making. And so the element that I'll do here is I'll put that in. It'll be one of the previous tutorials, and you'll see that will come in as well. So there will be a separate tutorial on screen rock and building that to import. But there you see I've built in and dragged in those items. Now, this is instantly accessible. If you went back to your overview page, you would see it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how we start to, or we're going to look at, sorry, should I say in the next video, is how we start to then work this material, how we start to put questions into the material, etc., etc., etc. So I hope that gives you a good overview of just one way where we started to actually form a subject, which was this. And then the next pages, we're going to go into a lot more detail about what we can do after this. Remember, if you've just got to here, then you're not really utilizing probably 15% of how the system works, and you're not really going to utilize how the system allows you to create a feedback loop, which is the whole purpose of the system. So please, just because you've uploaded the video and you've got to here, that currently means very, very little. You may as well have done it on YouTube. Please follow the next video to understand how to then start to make learning loops out of this. Thank you.